for what all the war dogs did to save America's life. I've always been proud to have been a dog handler because I know what I did in Vietnam. I know what other dog handlers did to save America's life. This is my welcome home today. War dogs, they have been around since the first war back in Revolutionary War. We have been given credit for the heroes that saved so many people's lives. I don't know about the other wars, but I do know about Vietnam. There's a good friend of mine right here. His name is Mr. Vaughn Hull. We do talk every now and then about what we did. Only us can understand what lives we saved. And I looked out amongst each one of the people here in attendance today. I keep asking myself, did my dog, Major, and myself save one of your lives in Vietnam? Could have had. But I will never know. But I know any dog team that was in harm's way, we did not ever ask what our mission was, where we were going, or how long it was going to take. The only thing we was concerned in is doing our job to save Americans' lives, to look at you in the face and say, I love you. Now you can go home to your family to get your welcome home for your service to our country. And that's what the war dogs is about. If I have to do it over again, I will do the very same thing. In Vietnam, there were over 3 million Americans served in Vietnam. 58,497 was killed in action. There's 418 great Americans got wounded. If it wasn't for the canines in Vietnam, those numbers would have been substantial. And our saying is, for the canine units, my eyes was your eyes to watch over and protect you. My ears was your ears to hear and defend you in the darkness of night. My nose, it was your nose to send out the invading enemy. And so you may live my life in your life. In Vietnam, started in 1960 and ended in 1975. Total number of handlers killed saving Americans' lives was 296 handlers got killed in Vietnam. That's not a bad average for a 15-year-old war. There were 230 canine dogs sacrificed their lives to bring Americans home. They were sentry dogs. They guarded the perimeters over base camps, airports, POLs, petroleum oil lubrication, and our ammo dumps to keep us safe. They were tracker dogs in Vietnam that tracked down the enemy when they went out on patrol with a big red 1 Infantry Division 1st Cav. They were scout dogs, scouting out the enemies going into the tunnels to have a higher advantage. On the American troops. Here is one group of dogs that's highly misunderstood. They were what we call the water dogs. They did river patrol on the river boats for the enemy, hiding in the brush, underneath the water, breathing through a bamboo pole. They could detect the breath off of a human being with their nose. Unreal. They spotted mines, or they could send a trip wire going across the trail. at a low wind gust of half a mile an hour. They did the tunnel clearing with tunnel rats, and they tracked down the enemies going into the tunnels, and they also did drug work at the airport for contraband. Myself, I was stationed in Cam Ranh Bay, Vietnam, had an attachment in Da Nang is where I served. I had the great honors of being with the top dog kennels in Southeast Asia. The top dog kennels in Southeast Asia for saving people's lives. Unreal. Scared me to death. You know what we had to do. And at the end of the war, this is still touching a lot of canine guys. Our dogs was just a piece of equipment left behind by our government in the red sands of Vietnam. Just a piece of equipment. Isn't that something? Saved 10,000 American lives, just a piece of equipment. Each one of those dogs, they trained in Fort Benning, Georgia, or Okinawa, Japan. And that's where I took my training at, like sniper duties. Those dogs was our best friends. They would do anything for us or anything for you. $50,000 is what it cost our government to train them dogs. Some of the best dogs I ever had in my life. But this right here is my welcome home, people. But then this is why you will very seldom ever see dog handlers within an organization, because there wasn't that many of us served in the great nation that we live in today, because we could take care of one whole attachment with one dog. And that's what made it so special, to say, welcome home, guys. And I want to tell you right now, I love this country, and God bless you.
Welcome home!
Kind of a touching story.
Dog's thoughts, right?
Okay, the next speaker is going to be Bill Woodford. He's Oakland County Commissioner.
Thank you. It's great to be part. Can you hear?
Yeah.
No? It's great to be part of this. I'm fortunate enough to be the only county commissioner, I think, with a War Dog Memorial in this district. And I've been out here helping clean up too. It's all for you, because I want to thank each and every one of you. Last Wednesday, the Oakland County Board of Commissioners by unanimously passed a resolution. Can't hear me? Passed a resolution last Wednesday declaring Canine Veterans Day, March 13th in Oakland County, and I brought a proclamation I'd like to read. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
More? Whereas we remember and honor all dog handlers and their faithful canine partners for their sacrifice and service during World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Kosovo, Operation Desert Storm. We also honor them for their exceptional service as police and Secret Service canines, airport, border patrol, and customs canines, FBI canines, working to protect our homeland security, particularly when terror struck this country on 9/11, ushering in a war on terror with operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. These canine partners have saved tens of thousands of lives at home and abroad, and they are truly America's forgotten heroes. Whereas Lyon Township here in Oakland County is the home to a War Dog Memorial honoring these forgotten heroes, we proudly remember and set aside a day in their honor to commemorate and celebrate the military working dogs and military working dog handlers, a service for which we have the utmost respect. So now, therefore, Michael J. Gingell, Chairperson of the Oakland County Board of Commissioners, together with Commissioner Phil Kuipert, do hereby proclaim March 13, 2012 as Canine Veterans Day here in Oakland County. I'd like to recognize we have the Township Supervisor Lanny Young back there, who's helping keep this piece of property here. And I'd like to present AMVETS 2006 and Post 346 Farmington and Post 216. I have one for Post 346. Ken's been really great on this project. Thank you, Joe. And I brought one for the township. Could Sergeant Venus come up with the... And we have one for the township and Sergeant Venus and Oakland County Canine Patrols here. Thank you very much. So thank you very much. We'll keep working on this and keep it here, hopefully for eternity. Thank you.
All right, we have our last speaker coming up. This is going to be Ken Reynolds from Post 346. As I mentioned before, Ken has been responsible for pushing through the proclamation, and I think he's going to read off what the governor has signed.
First of all, I want to say thank you for coming. This is a great day for being a canine handler and a canine war hero. And I just want to salute every one of you who are handlers, and I want to salute the dogs as well, because they really deserve this. Okay, from the state of Michigan, on behalf of the people of Michigan, I, Rick Snyder, Governor of Michigan, do hereby proclaim March 13, 2012 as Canine Veterans Day. Whereas military working dogs have been used by the U.S. Armed Forces since World War I, and on March 13, 1942, the Quartermaster Corps of the U.S. Army began training dogs for the newly established War Dog program, also known as the Canine Corps. And whereas still today, military working dogs serve alongside our men and women in uniform, both on active duty and serving in the reserves of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. And whereas it is only fitting that we remember and honor the dog handlers and their faithful canine partners for their service and sacrifice during World War I and II, the Korean War, Vietnam War, and many other conflicts. And whereas on this day we encourage citizens throughout the Great Lakes state to honor the forgotten hero dogs who helped and continue to help sustain the protection, safety, and freedom of citizens in Michigan and throughout the United States. Now, therefore, I, Rick Snyder, Governor of Michigan, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, March 13, 2012 as Canine Veterans Day in Michigan. Now I'd like to read the proclamation. can't read it if I turn
Do what she said. You need wrong corner glasses.
Yes, you did.
From the state of Illinois, Executive Department proclamation. Whereas on March 13, 1942, the Quartermaster Corps of the United States Army began training dogs for the newly established War Dog program of Canine Corps, and whereas throughout the long history of warfare, thousands of dogs have fought and died in the service of man, and whereas on March 13th, we remember the thousands of canines and dog handlers that have served our country with honor, dignity, and valor in all wars, and whereas through their selfless service, loyalty, and bravery, these canines have saved countless lives and rendered honorable and unrecognized service to the United States Armed Forces. And whereas to this day, due to the current war on terror, such dogs continue to fight alongside our men and women to help protect and serve our country. And whereas, as a nation, we are eternally grateful for the noble sacrifices made by our military working dogs, handlers, and their canine partners. And whereas we must on this day also recognize the police, border patrol, and custom dogs for their dedicated service to keeping our country and communities safe. And therefore I, Pat Quinn, Governor of the State of Illinois, do hereby proclaim March 13, 2012 as Canine Veterans Day in Illinois, and call upon all residents to acknowledge and support our four-legged soldiers and nationally honor all the working dogs and canine veterans of all our wars. And witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the state of Illinois to be affixed, done at the Capitol in the city of Springfield the 6th day of March in the year of our Lord, 2012. Thanks again for coming. I really appreciate this.
Now hold it up in front of you, Ken.
Huh?
Hold it up in front of you.
There you go.
Now start reading. Yeah,
Got it, Skip?
Not yet.
Hold on, Jessica, hold on.
No, that'll shut off. Oh.
Okay. Thanks again.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to turn this back over to our commander. He's going to carry on with the rest of our celebration.
I thought we could take a 15-minute break for the next 3 hours of our program. At this time, in an official capacity, there'll be placing of the wreath. Rick Matott, BBHA, and Staff Sergeant Allison Price, who is here as an active U.S.A.F. dog handler. Would you please come forward and present the wreath?
Where's the battery gave out?
Oh, did you bring an extra one?
It's in the car.
Oh, no, it gave out? It's still red?
Yeah, it's still red.
Well, let's leave it holding. Don't worry about it. It goes out completely when it's done.
Maybe it's still red.
Okay.
There are additional folks here who want to present a wreath at this time. Would you please come forward?